All right, back again. So, what we talked about yesterday was treating the cause, not the symptom. The way in which we should be handling health issues, health concerns, deficiencies, whatever. So, what's causing you these health conditions? It's probably elevated stress levels. It's probably inflammation. So, here's the thing: is that you have two ways in which you can experience illness, chronic illness, whether it be so. Some people have predispositions to different diseases, different illnesses. It's your genotype. Now, so what that means is that hereditary diseases basically is that like on my father's side, there's Parkinson's, there's heart disease, there's a few other things. On my mom's side, there's obesity, there's diabetes, there's fibromyalgia, there's a few other things, right? Like anyway, so those things are different genes that are controlled by genes. That's my genotype. But giving it access to dementia, that's the other one over here. Giving it access to turn on, it's called the phenotype. So that means like, if I do things that allow that gene to turn on and allow that gene to express itself, then I'm going to allow myself to not allow myself, that's too harsh of a word, but then I'm going to be more have a higher probability of experiencing that illness or disease. So if I have a crap lifestyle, let's say I smoke, I drink alcohol every night for 20 years, I eat highly processed foods, all those things are going to expose me more to diabetes, chronic illness, those kinds of things. So the way in which I can control that and lower my own likelihood is eat whole foods, drink some water, get a good night's sleep, and go for a walk. Like those are the things that will help reduce my likelihood to get that specific disease. Now, is it 100% the cure? No. Does it cure it more than we think it does? Yes, 100%. It's huge. It's incredible. Like people who are, you ever see those people, it's like they live to 90 and they look like they're 65. It's like, what do you think they did? They were active. They took care of their body. They took care of their health. Like they still lived, like they still drank wine and eat red meat and went for swims up until they were like, I read this story. This is like one of the coolest stories. So the guy was, I think he was 97. He has a cabin, takes care of it by himself, lives there with his partner. His partner's like 92. And the guy is like, he eats red meat, drinks wine, goes for swims, chops his own firewood. I was like, 97. And he just died in his sleep one night. But like he was doing that up until he was 97. Like it was like the last night on Earth. I'll see if I can link this article here. But his last night on Earth, his partner said that he was like chopping wood, went for a swim, came back, fell asleep, didn't wake up. It's like, that's how I want to go. That sounds phenomenal. Like, imagine being that functional at 97 that you can maintain your own cabin. You can go for a swim, and then it's like, yeah, they probably made love that night, and then he just didn't wake up. Like, great, phenomenal. 97 is doing that. That's where I want to be. And it was like, well, what do you do? Well, he just took care of his health. He just, avoided the things that cause health concerns. What was the point of this video? How did I end up here? Okay, so yeah, when you allow your lifestyle to expose you to certain genes or express certain genes that you already have, that's when you get into trouble, right? When you do things that are like going to turn that gene on, like turn the negative gene on. So I have within me, like there's a few genes that like I have control. Like I'm pretty athletic. It doesn't matter what I seem to do. I seem to be above average at it. I just have like pretty fast motor skills. My legs are made for like running long distances. Like those are all genes that I have. But if I didn't do anything with it, I would never know. I also like to think I'm pretty good at thinking. Like not a whole lot of people, especially in this world, think a whole lot in terms of like critical thinking. Like they're more so just consume and consume. I think that's a gene that I was predisposed to, and that I've just turned on through exposure to different teachers who preach that, and different entities in which like I just absorbed and formed thoughts on my own. I don't think that in terms of reading something and absorbing it, that's not something that happens easily to me. That's something I have to work very difficult on, and so or very hard for. So there's different things about you, like just it's nature versus nurture. Like what is allowing you? What is going to be that thing that's going to be easier for you to do? And are you going to be predisposed to it? Like, are you going to turn that thing on? Like, so what if Usain Bolt? Usain Bolt is genetically the best runner of all time. Like, there's nobody in what's the word? In recent like tracked history, nobody has a better structure, faster fibers, better strides, like longer. Like is when you look at like when you write textbooks, when the sports physio or man, I can't talk this morning. Sports scientists, they would write textbooks, and it was like, this is the guy that they were documenting to be the fastest man of all time, and he is. He's like, he has it. Everything that you need to be the fastest man of all time, he has it. But what if he never ran? Like, how many other things are out there that we are so predisposed to, but we just never tried because, you know, we were afraid or whatever, right? Getting back to this is not mindset, this is science. You are predisposed to different things based on your genotype. You want to turn them on, your lifestyle is going to affect that, right? So you do have control over it. It's like, you just because there's some overweight people in your lineage does not mean that you also have to be overweight. Sure, is that gene easier to turn on because you're predisposed to it? Absolutely. But can you still control it? 100%. Will it be harder? Yeah. Has anything in your life been easy so far? Have you done hard shit before? Yeah. Great. You got this then.